Furthermore, since arms sales are proven to be important alliance, direct sales can strengthen ties abroad and increase the military capabilities of both countries. In addition, clear support and arms trade signal allies that the country is serious about its alliance, which adds to its credibility. This leads to increased innovation in two ways. Number one, trade. Patrick in 2009 notes that trade provides an incentive for greater product competition. Trade is key by increasing the pool of technology available for the domestic innovation process. Within trade, greater competition increases the incentives to prove the performance through innovation. And therefore, with the alliance arms sales will bring to Japan, it will lead to the following impacts of innovation. Subpoint A is disease. The status quo, pharmaceutical companies lack the incentives to innovate new drugs as they lack any competition due to the consolidation of the industry. With the increase of trade, the incentive to innovate for new drugs increase. Innovation to the pharmaceutical industry now is cheaper antibiotics. In the status quo, millions are suffering from antimicrobial resistance. And according to Davis 2021, approximately 10 million people can die per year. The threat of AMR is that it is not linear, but the impact is catastrophic. According to Silverman and CDC, AMR leads to increased human illness, suffering, and death. Cost and length of treatments, decreased control over diseases, and outbreak of the pandemic. AMR is not only responsible for the direct death, but also the inability to control viruses and prevent the next pandemic. According to WHO, given the time, the ease, and frequency with which people now travel, antibiotic resistance is a global problem. The best way pharmaceutical companies can help resolve this is to invest in research and development of new antibiotics, vaccines, diagnostics. AMR will be a greater or at least equal threat to climate change. Someone beats of climate change. According to VNA 19, international collaboration is essential to protect the environment. Several mechanisms. The first one is that through interoperability and effective communications, as a product alliance, countries will be able to come up with a united solution. Coming up with a sustainable economy and energy use is now key. A single country will not have the ability to tackle alone. Cooperation will ensure a solution before the tipping point. Number two is regulations. Regulations will work much more effectively as alliances can form agreements on how much carbon should be emitted and how much consumption should be the cap. Our subpoint C is regional balance of power. On to the internal link. Good relations and arms sales are key to maintain regional balance of power. Statistics have already shown that arms sales often contribute to the regional stability and diminish the likelihood of war. And providing weapons to some countries not only so that these countries can defend themselves, but it also creates a relationship where Japan can have access to other parts of the country's political, military, and economic needs. The impact is that war causes tons of people to be injured. For example, in World War I, more than 60 million people died. And even if you don't buy that, the reason recreate Russian war also cost life for 7,000 Russian soldiers and injured 14,000 innocents. Our second contention is the UNSC. Firstly, Revisionist Article 9 allows Japan to obtain nuclear weapons. Currently, Article 9 prohibits Japan from maintaining land, sea, and air forces, as well as other war potential. And by revising Article 9, Japan can obtain nuclear weapons and get a permanent seat on the United Nations Security Council. Currently, the UNSC has 50 members in total, with 5 permanent members, the US, the UK, France, Russia, and China. The UNSC requires all its permanent seat members to be nuclear states, something that Japan does not yet have. Japan has pushed for admission to the UNSC, being on this council for 11 terms, the longest of any non-permanent seat members on the council. Subpoint A is deterrence. The UNSC provides security aids to their permanent members. Therefore, if Japan gains the permanent seat, that means that they can effectively deter countries in East Asia such as China, North Korea, or Russia since they have UN support. Subpoint B is proliferation. If Japan gains the permanent seat, they basically have veto power, which is the power to veto any substantive resolutions. For example, it also under the terms of the Treaty on the Non-Proliferation of Nuclear Weapons, or the NPT, meaning that countries in the permanent seat can be determined whether the Treaty of Nuclear Weapons works.